Hi guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I'm mom to 14 children. 12 of those children are still at home, and today I'm going to show you my gardens. So we live in Maine. We live right on the edge of zone 4 and 5. We're kind of right in the middle. We're technically zone 5, but hey, it's May, what is today? 14th, 15th? Something like that. I know Friday's the 19th. So, I guess it's more like the 16th. May 16th, and we're supposed to get frost on the 18th, and our high for tomorrow I think is supposed to be 50. So yeah, it's cold, and we can't plant outside quite yet, or at least we can't plant our main crop outside yet, but we did prep those areas. So let me show you what we're doing. Dad brought home manure. It's actually composted manure. So we're out here, and this is like our garden beds that are all together. So I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 garden beds over here. So we started to, it is cold out here this morning, and it looks like it is going to rain. So I came out here first. And so I planted a little bit of onions. It's not past our frost date. We're actually supposed to get a frost on Thursday. It's supposed to have like a high of 50 tomorrow. So yeah, not gardening here, but we prepped tons of area, and then I'll show you what is going on in our high tunnel. So here you go. So the only thing I planted so far was the onions here, and then you can see I weaved the the grapes up and over there. So these are 12 of the beds there, and then we laid down weed mat here, or whatever. We had like this old tarpy type thing, so I said to lay it down here, so hopefully we'll be able to like kill all this, because this is like perennial weeds. And then these 3 asparagus beds over the edge have all been planted now. And then our garlic is coming up really good. I'll go through this way. So this is a cherry tree, apple, pawpaw is here. I think an apple behind that. Garlic is looking good, even though it's this crappy, junky soil. But those ones are all coming up. So this one in the middle is a peach tree, and this is a pear, and then this one behind is a pear as well. Here is an apple. This needs to get weeded out. More garlic here. I think we planted like 400 garlics, and this needs to get weeded. We get a lot of these weeds. Oh, they're such a pain, because when you go to pull them, they're all pokey and thorny. So there, this is a Santa Rosa plum. I planted this last year, but it looks like it's doing okay. I want to clean out around the edge here. And then I planted that plum and that peach last year as well. That's an apple there. Those are wild apples out front by the road. So, raspberries. We used to have 2 paths here of raspberries. They were absolutely gorgeous. They died back. I tried to replant raspberries last year with a bunch of plants, and only a couple are coming back. We're gonna weed through here, but only a couple of these are coming back. And then these here were all garlics, but again, the sand, you know, it's too hard here. So I don't know if I'll probably end up digging these garlics out and putting them in a different spot sometime this week, and then digging some of that out and adding some manure, because we did get, you'll see, we got a huge pile of manure. Again, this is garlic and garlic. This is a pear and an apple. So let's go out here, and then 2 more apple trees. 1, 2. So we'll go back over the other side. The weather has been like totally crazy. It's just ridiculous. It was like almost 80 the other day, and then today it's cold, it's chilly, it's I don't know, right now it's probably like 52, something like that. And yeah, the weather's just been weird, and then we're supposed to get a frost. I almost planted some things the other day because it had been so warm, but I'm glad that I didn't. The only thing that I did plant outside was those onions, but those should be fine. And then those flowers and herbs, you probably saw that video already, but we planted those out front. I'm gonna cover those over. I have some Agribond row cover, and I'll just throw that over the top. Good morning. He thinks I have something good and I don't. We're gonna go to this other side over here. This is as far as we got here. So next to him, this is our milk barn. We're gonna make a, from this pole up here, we're gonna make a fence line, but we were gonna try to plow this, and it was just too rocky, so plowing did not work. But we have enough broken up that I'll be able to rototill a bit in here, because it was just really hard packed because of the way the ground is. So this will be an area. I'll probably come down to about here. So that area is probably about, let me say, 25 by 30, something like that. It's not too big. And then we're gonna come over here. My son and daughter and a couple other kids have been working over here, and it looks absolutely great. This is going to be for the corn, but we definitely cannot plant corn now. So this is it. So what we'll do is this will get flattened out more. We're not going to flatten it out too much right now because if it rains, which it's supposed to do today, it's going to mat it down a little bit. So we'll make that row wider. So maybe from like here to there, enough that I can put 4 rows of corn per mound. 4 rows of corn per mound. Some of the pallets over here are going to be used to make a fence along back here, so the deer won't come in and eat the corn. And we'll probably go all the way over to where those tires are and then come down here. So that's what we will do. And then we have done nothing in this area as of yet. We'll probably do that just on the day that we're going to do it. So let's head into the high tunnel. I'm actually really excited. Oh no, I have one more garden. Okay, I'm excited to show you both these next gardens. One, we got some manure. We had a friend who we were able to get 3 more loads. Last week we had gotten 1 load, I believe, or we're gonna get 1 load. I should have watched that video so I knew where I was at and what I did in a week. But we ended up getting 3 more loads yesterday, so a total of 4 loads, which was such a blessing. She said we could just trade her some strawberry plants, and that was totally awesome. So I'm excited about that. And you can see the garden from here. All the way there. And we took some of the stuff from out back where we had the corn. We took some of that and we just put it down here to try to suppress some of the weeds. Obviously we have some there. I'll pull those up and then kind of put it closer, but they just wanted someplace to dump it, so we did that. So lots of manure. Isn't that beautiful? I think so. I got some in the back of the truck too. This is where we're at with this. So we're gonna put a little more manure here, and then my raspberries are coming in the following week, so we're going to be planting the raspberries all the way down there. And then these rows we did plant, I think it was close to 100 minus 5. We had 5 left of 100 strawberries from here up to here, and I'll have enough room that I can plant beans along the edge. This 1 raspberry bush here, and then these beds I'll basically after the rain just see where they're at. Oh, gotta grab those little shoes. See where they're at. So we have 1, 2, all these. I'm gonna have some dry beans. I think I have some Armenian cucumbers that I'm gonna put out here, some white cucumbers. Just trying to plant some things that I want to actually collect seeds for, like like dry beans for a bigger harvest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll grow basically a regular garden type harvest minus like mostly squash. I don't want to do squash here. I usually do those in the beds so I can separate them more, and then like little spots throughout so I can have them separated. So I would do like butternut squash one place, spaghetti squash someplace else, so they're not cross-pollinating. My pumpkin someplace else. So most likely I'm not going to have like trailing squash along this area here because I don't want them getting into all the beds. I hear you, yes. And so we have these beds here. What I'll probably do is plant just a little bit of what I'm planting inside of the high tunnel outside here, and then it gives me almost 2 seasons of what I'm planting. But I also am going to be planting additional herbs in the back there from what I'm going to show you in a minute. I think I'll show those to you at the end. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll go over there now. I'm trying to see who's over there because some people don't want to be on camera. So yeah, gonna plant here probably like Memorial Day weekend. We'll plant here. All right, so there's our big manure pile, and I'll show you my beautiful flowers and herbs, and then I'll go out into the high tunnel. So the kids planted, we got those clearance plants that were all marked down, so they made an adjoining bed for me here. So pretty. And then this is the one I planted last fall. The little girls love smelling the tulips when they come out. And then here are the herbs. I'm gonna need to, it looks like we had a little tea party disaster here. The cat doesn't mind. So the little girls were so excited. Their plants started popping up along the edge. She weeded her peas. It was so cute. So looking back, we have a lot of things growing. I can just have this image of this being all covered over in a little bit. A month, 2 months, something like that. Good morning. She's weeding for me this morning. So she has beautiful cauliflower plants. And these are kohlrabi. Oh, cauliflower's over there. I had few extra kohlrabis. So those are kohlrabi there. And then here I have radishes. And all the way down is radishes. And these are cauliflower. And then over here I weeded, and these are broccoli. We live on a main road in the middle of nowhere, and it's loud. All the trucks go down, up and down the roads. A lot of logging companies go up there. So we have these really shot up this week. And then we have the lettuce all along there. And then the peas started to come up, and some of the beans even started to come up. So these are Chinese noodle beans, and they will trellis up and over here. So the opposite side, you can see like this side has the beans and the other side has the peas. So what I did yesterday is any of my broccolis that had like 2, I took some of those out and then I planted them someplace else. And I did some weeding, and she cleaned out. We have 1, 2. These are the ever-bearing strawberries, and I only wanted 2 beds of those. And then, sorry, the trucks are going to town this morning. These are lemon pepper peppers, and I ordered some more yellow peppers in, and they should be in this week. I want to have plenty of yellow peppers this year so that I can pickle a bunch of yellow peppers. So what I like to do is I'll have maybe 1 year where I would do a bunch of jalapenos, and then I would do maybe like 3 years worth of like cowboy candy. And then I might do another year where I have a lot of habaneros and make some habanero sauce. So each year I kind of do like a different pepper, but then I like do enough of it that I can do for a couple years ahead, and then rotate through so I don't like intercross my hot peppers. I do have 2 jalapenos down the end here that I'll show you. Those are basically just for like fresh eating this year. So we have the cabbage right here going down, and then in here the carrots really shot up this week, which is exciting. Same with the kale. So I probably won't need to buy lettuce because I have kale. I have beet tops here. These are beautiful beet tops. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? Do you guys eat beet tops? People around here eat beet tops usually with vinegar. I prefer to have either fresh, smaller beet greens with my salad, or I would have beet greens with butter or coconut oil and garlic. I love garlic. I planted 2 little zinnias. Aren't they cute? Kale. I love kale. And my mother bought some plants here. There is 2 cranberries, which I've never grown before, but I'm going to try. And I have 1 pawpaw tree and the other one died, and she found a pawpaw tree on her travels. So we're going to add that to our other pawpaws over in the other garden. So need to weed here, but there's still a bunch of cabbage here. These are Brussels sprouts from here down a little bit. And then Copenhagen cabbage here. It's beautiful. This is like the purple leaf. I love the different colors in kale because it makes such a beautiful salad. So I have 1 package of salad left, and I don't think after that I should have to buy any more greens for the summer for fresh eating, because we just kind of keep rotating through. So once I plant my outside garden, I'll start planting things, and when things in here start to like bolt and get too hot, then out there will be perfect. And then by the time those are about done, I'll have stuff back in here to be able to grow. So this area I need to plant here. Do have a couple plants here, and these are the peas that we planted first. So these I need to work them up the trellis. I have not done that yet. I will do that probably today. We have the cabbage here. So today my goal is I want to weed this and plant this area and weed those peas up. And then my kids are working on moving some manure currently. So here I planted a huge row, like overplanted peppers, because none of my peppers came up in the house except for those few lemon peppers. So I planted seeds in here in hopes that I will get a bunch of them and I can actually like pull some out of here in order to plant outside as well. But mostly my peppers I grow in here, mostly my tomatoes I grow in here, and cucumbers, most of them will grow in here. So I planted cukes in here. And in the middle here, you can see some of these beans are starting to come up. So this is 2 rows of beans, and then I have cabbages right down the center. Now, I planted tomatoes here. Tomatoes always look horrible, don't they? When you first put them in, they look horrible until a couple weeks later, then they just take off. Now, we have this big dilemma because this right here is a massive bed that I planted yellow beans. From here all the way down to there is all yellow beans, and none of them have come up. So then I went to dig this morning to try to find the beans, and I can't find the beans. We found like maybe 10 beans in like a 6-foot section. And so I think what I'm going to end up doing is just totally redoing this bed, because I'm going to look back in the video to make sure. I believe it's been 3 to 4 weeks since I planted this, and that's very frustrating because these should already be coming up. I planted the other beans on the trellis and this middle row of beans after I planted these beans. So I'm thinking that it's probably bad seeds, because these were yellow beans. These were different from the other beans that I planted. Anyhow, I have to figure this out ASAP. I'll show you real quick while I'm back here what I did for hoses this year. So I have off of the house, I have a 4-way connector at the house at the tap, like that looks just like this at the house. So I'll turn this way. At the house I have one like this. These two at the house come down here. They come down here in order to feed our 2 hoses. So this set here is for my left side of the garden, and then I have one out back that's for the right side of the garden. So this one right here feeds this hose, which will spray this back bed. Remember the back bed where we started to put the sweet potatoes in? She did plant some sweet potato slips back here. My daughter's taken this over here. This is kind of like a large hoopler bed. And so we have this sprayer here, but this also is an area that we can fill up watering cans if we need to fill up watering cans. So this one goes to this, and there's 3 sprinklers on each side. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. And there's 3 on the other side. 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 on each side. So the other 3 hoses go to one side, and then the other connector has a hose and it comes to the other side. I'll show you this. We used to have drip line, and I absolutely hated drip line. It got so caught up with dirt that it wasn't very workable. So this is right outside the high tunnel door. So this one has this off, but we can hook another hose to it if we wanted to do pigs or whatever. We can hook the hose to that, or I can hook my outside hose if we needed to outside my garden, because that's that other garden area right there. But we have 1, 2, 3 for that far side in the high tunnel. And then the hose runs up by the house. And so this hose and the other hose, this green hose, runs each side. I hope that makes sense. We've tried numerous different ways. Last year was a headache. We had one sprinkler and we were like moving it like here to there to there. We actually had we'd have 4 crates stacked high and then a sprinkler on top of it because I had corn in here and I couldn't get the water over to the other things. Oh, headache. The first 2 years I had drip line, so I had a line running back here and then I just kind of had the lines going that way, and the first year it worked okay, but the problem is you really need to plant, which I didn't realize the first year. You really need to plant where the drip is at, and so the following year I planted where the drip was at, and I found that some of my holes were either clogged or there was a bigger tear in here or a bigger tear in there, which doesn't allow the pressure to be so there'd be a puddle in one spot and then another space wouldn't have any water. And the hoses were only 2 years old and I had invested quite a bit of money in it, and I said, wow, this is ridiculous, because my plants were actually dying from dehydration even though I was running a lot of water. So I kind of contemplated this year doing what are you doing? The cat's at my feet. I contemplated doing not drip line, soaker hoses, but that's a lot of soaker hoses, and I don't know that I want to invest that much time and energy into soaker hoses, especially where I'm doing different types and different styles of rows. So I didn't, and we had most of these things already. I did buy this gray hose, and I bought that twirly hose in the back. The rest of them were hoses that we had, and I bought the connectors. And I'm also buying I bought one timer, so we have 2 hoses to the house, and I want to put a timer on each. And then my thoughts is each day, So I might have the first day, I'd have like the first 2 hoses on, and then the next day I'd just switch it over. So when the timer came on, it'd be the next 2, and then the third day would be the next 2, and then we rotate through the next day. So each area would be getting watered twice a week, and then yeah, so it'd work like that. So these are plants. They look like they're dead, but they're really not. I planted these were pulled out from the broccoli that I pulled out yesterday. So these will perk up in a day or 2, even though they look horrible now. And then I planted some peppers and okra. Oh, at the end was those jalapenos right there. And then these were just regular bell peppers that I just picked up at the store. These things were expensive. They're like $5 a plant at Walmart. These right here, what I'm going to be working on is I need to take these out, and I'm not quite sure. See, this is the hard dirt, and that's why all of them didn't come in. So I'm thinking that I'm going to take these out and add some manure to this bed. And then this, we kind of rototilled it in, so it worked out okay. Broccoli here. And then this is what we did to this bed, is it was that sand. We pulled some of the sand out and added some manure to it, so it looks a lot more manageable than the other was.
Hi, Mom.
I heard your peas grew.
When they grow, hey, cat, no, get away. Small little bowl, and I'm gonna fill it with peas. No, cat.
You're gonna share your peas with everyone. That's nice.
I'm gonna share my ripe tomatoes with everybody.
You're gonna share your tomatoes with everybody.
When my peas grow, I like these ones too. I'm gonna say to you, and I'm gonna say, Mom, I'm gonna go pick some peas.
Well, they have a plan.
Mom.
Cauliflower. This is overdone cauliflower here. So I'll take some of these out, and those will go outside once we're able to. This has some leeks in it, tiny leeks there. Leeks, and onions. My daughter has a lot of strawberry starts here, so if you are local, she has strawberry, rhubarb, more strawberries, some tomatoes, and all the strawberries under there. So if you are local, I see they're growing. If you are local, she does have those available, and I think they're opening Saturdays from 9 to 2. The girls have taken over the stand, but one of us, if you guys message us on Little Blessings Farm page, then we're happy to get those things out to you, or work arrangements, or whatever you want to do. So I think that wraps it up. I hope you all have a blessed day. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.